I'm Courtney. Standing in the grand hallway of the courthouse, I watched as Karen's world crumbled before her eyes. The video of her threatening and manipulating my dear grandmother, played right there in the mediation room, had shattered her perfect facade. The silence that followed was deafening, broken only by her desperate denials and the gasps of shock from the onlookers. It all started 2 years ago when I received that fateful call early one Tuesday morning. I was living a simple life in Seattle, working as a landscape architect. The voice on the other end of the line was cold and professional, delivering the news that my beloved grandmother, Amelia Thompson, had been admitted to the hospital due to congestive heart failure. In a daze, I boarded the first flight to Boston. My mother, Vanessa Thompson, was already at the hospital when I arrived. She was a well-known socialite in Boston, always dressed to the nines in designer clothes. With her platinum, blonde hair and icy blue eyes, she looked every bit the part of the wealthy and untouchable woman she thought she was. She completely ignored me as I walked up, as if I were a nuisance. When I asked about Grandma, her words cut like a knife. "Oh, you came. I thought your little job was more important than your own family." I waited until she went for lunch to sneak into Grandma's room. Her frail body was connected to a multitude of machines, but when her eyes met mine, they sparkled with warmth. "My girl," she whispered, "you came?" She then warned me not to believe anything Vanessa said and mentioned a hidden study in the mansion, saying, "If you ever need answers." But before she could explain further, Vanessa burst in, accusing me of trying to isolate Grandma. As I left, she murmured, "I've recorded everything, Courtney. Everything." 3 days later, Grandma passed away peacefully in her sleep. I was holding her hand when her breathing stopped. Vanessa arrived 2 hours late, putting on a dramatic show of grief. A week after the funeral, we gathered at the law office of Mr. Henry Davis, Grandma's long-time attorney, for the reading of the will. When Mr. Davis read that Grandma had left the mansion and all its contents, valued at $7 million, to me, and only $1 to Vanessa, my mother exploded. She accused me of manipulating a senile old woman, shouting that the will was a fraud. Mr. Davis calmly explained that Grandma had been of sound mind, but Vanessa was having none of it. She declared that she would contest the will in court and that everyone would see me for the monster I was. From that moment on, my life became a living hell. Vanessa hired a private investigator to dig up dirt on me. Rumors spread like wildfire through the high society circles of Boston. I lost my job at the landscape architecture firm after an anonymous tip alleged that I had psychological issues and was involved in financial fraud. Other firms I applied to also rejected me, all thanks to Vanessa's smear campaign. 6 months into the lawsuit, Vanessa offered me a settlement, a 50/50 split of the mansion's value. I refused, and she threatened to ruin my reputation even further. I knew I had to stand my ground, but I was growing desperate. I remembered Grandma's words about the hidden study, and finally, in the 8th month of the lawsuit, I decided to search for it. In the library of the mansion, behind the 3rd bookshelf, I found a book titled Fundamental Principles. When I pulled it out, a hidden door creaked open. Inside was my grandfather's long, sealed study. On the desk was a metal box with a note from Grandma. Inside the box were a USB drive, a digital camera, and a letter. The letter revealed that Vanessa had been borrowing money from Grandma since 2015. At first, it was small amounts for emergencies, but by 2018, she had tricked Grandma into signing a power of attorney while she was recovering from surgery. When Grandma tried to revoke it, Vanessa threatened to keep me away from her. Grandma had been recording everything for years, and the USB contained 147 videos of Vanessa's demands, threats, and forged signatures. I spent days watching the videos, my heart breaking with each one. Vanessa had not only stolen money, but had also terrorized an old woman who loved her unconditionally. I knew I had the evidence to end the lawsuit, but I wanted Vanessa to be there when the truth came out. As the lawsuit dragged on, Vanessa organized a charity luncheon for elder abuse awareness, using it as a platform to spread more lies about me. But I had been building my case in the meantime. I hired a forensic accountant to trace every transaction Vanessa had made from Grandma's accounts, totaling over $2 million in theft. I also obtained Grandma's cognitive assessment records, which showed that she had been of sound mind until the end. The mediation hearing finally arrived. Vanessa walked into the room with her husband, Roger, a meek man who had always followed her lead. Her attorney, Ms. Lily Black, was known for her aggressive litigation style. When it was my turn to present our case, I revealed the video evidence. The first video, recorded a week before Grandma's death, showed her clear-eyed and lucid, stating that she was of sound mind and that she had left everything to me because I was the only one who loved her unconditionally. Vanessa's face turned pale as the video played. She tried to claim it was fake, but the evidence was overwhelming. When we played another video from 2018 showing her threatening Grandma to sign a $75,000 check, the courtroom erupted in chaos. Roger admitted that he didn't know the full extent of Vanessa's actions, and Aunt Stella, Vanessa's sister, who had initially sided with her, finally saw the truth. After a long recess, Vanessa's attorney announced that they were withdrawing the lawsuit. I decided not to pursue criminal charges, not for Vanessa's sake, but because Grandma wouldn't have wanted me to become a vengeful person. In the aftermath, Vanessa's social standing crumbled. She lost her positions in various charities, her country club membership was suspended, and Roger filed for divorce. Aunt Stella came to me, confessing that she had been sending money to Grandma every month for 20 years to help raise me. She had done it anonymously because she didn't want Vanessa to know. 3 months later, I received a letter from Vanessa. She apologized, saying that she had no one left and that she wanted to make amends. I wrote back, telling her that she was no longer my mother in any meaningful way. She had traded me for money years ago, and I couldn't forgive or forget that. 6 months after the mediation, I opened Amelia's Garden, named after my grandmother. The mansion's eastern wing became a community center, and the grounds were turned into a teaching garden. Children from underprivileged neighborhoods in Boston came to learn about plants and the importance of patience. I received an email from my former firm offering me a senior position, but I declined. I had found my true calling in this garden, a place where I could honor Grandma's memory and give back to the community, just as she would have wanted.